Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Becca here. So in today's video, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. However, it's very much important that we are pre-informed and we are ahead of information, and that is why I'm doing this video, to inform us of the UK government's new changes that they are going to be making to international student visa effective January 2024. So the news is that effective January 2024, UK students, those who are coming from overseas to study in the UK, can no longer bring their dependents into the United Kingdom together with them. So you cannot bring your spouse, your children, if you're coming to study in the UK effective January 2024, except it is a postgraduate research program. So they were specific. Until or unless you're going to be doing a postgraduate research program, you will not be allowed again to come into the UK effective next year, January. Also, if you're on a student visa, you will not be able to switch to a work visa until your study is completed. So we all know that beforehand, some people were able to come into the UK, and even before they finished their university course, they were able to secure tier 2 sponsorship jobs or the postgraduate visas, and they were able to switch immediately even before they completed school. So that immediately you complete school, you just zoom into your work visa and then you just begin to work. Moving forward, it's not going to be effective anymore. It's no longer going to be possible for you to switch to a work visa until you have successfully finished your program. What this means to international students is that it doesn't mean that you can no longer come into the UK. It just means that you can come into the UK still. If your admission is before January 2024, this changes does not affect you. This is just to make way for people to understand and to adjust onto the new changes. So this doesn't mean that you cannot come into the UK again as an international student. It means that you just cannot come with your family. You may need to come alone. If you are single, then that's fine. This does not relate to you. However, if you are married, you can no longer come with your spouse. You can no longer come with your kids. You just need to come alone to study. So if you are the type that cannot come alone to study, then you may need to consider other routes such as the health and care visa and other types of visa to come into the UK. We have the tier 5 visa, we have the tier 1 visa, we have the global talent visa, we have the seasonal worker visa. You can consider any of these, but you may not be able to come with the student visa unless you are happy to come by yourself, finish your education, secure a job in the UK, then you can bring your family. I know this is a difficult news for most people, especially aspiring UK international students who have families and are looking forward, or were looking forward to use this route to migrate into the UK to start their life as immigrants. And one thing about the UK is that they change rules, laws, regulations almost every day. Things keep changing. Who knows? We are on work visa. We don't know anything yet about the work visa. However, I always tell people that this UK rules change almost every day. And you never know when you wake up one day to something new. I remember 3 years ago when I was coming to the UK, things were not as tough as it was today. So when I was coming to the UK, at that time, you could still use agencies, okay? You could still go through agencies to come as a nurse, as a doctor, as anything. We were not paying anything. I came to the UK, I didn't pay 1 penny. I didn't pay a dime. But today, unfortunately, people have become third parties and they are misusing the system. One thing is that before the UK government will come out to say A or B, they would have done their background checks. They know things that are happening. Immigration raised from 100 and something amongst international students to 700 and something within 1 year. One person can come with a family of 7 on a student visa. So husband and wife and 5 kids on student visa. In as much as the partner is going to work and is going to be taxed by the government, the student also has 20 hours to work and is going to be taxed by the government, which all helps the system. The system is under pressure, and that is why the UK government is putting all of these measures in place. If I will be honest with you, I think they feel that their system is under pressure, which is true. Healthcare system is under pressure. Social services and social systems are under pressure, and that is why they are putting all of these measures in place. This is not to discourage you from saying goodbye to your immigration dreams, but it's just to tell you that you have to use alternate routes, especially if you are married. If you are single, you don't have any problem at all. You can still come and do your undergrad and your postgrad courses, and you can move or switch visas when you have finished your course. But if you've got a family, even with family, you can still leave your family behind. But if you cannot leave your family, then you have to think twice. The thing is that sometimes the sacrifices we make for our families is worth it, okay? I came to the UK for a solid 2 years and more without seeing my kids. They were not here. Without physically seeing them. They were back home. They didn't die. Nothing happened to them. In fact, truth be told, they even gathered more common sense. They are more mature. They are more knowledgeable. The things that they can do now, if they had come to the UK with me, or they had come immediately after I came, they wouldn't have been able to do these things. And it is a decision I have not regretted ever doing. So if you've got somebody at home who can help you, somebody you trust, like your immediate family, like you can trust them to look after your family for you, you can still pursue your dream. You can still come by yourself. You can still do it. I came not even under student visa. I came under work visa. I had everything it took to bring my kids. But I felt, listen, I don't want the system to swallow me and my children. And it's the best decision I made. So if you wouldn't find trouble leaving your family behind to pursue your dream, it's for their good. One day they will grow to acknowledge your efforts. They will grow to remember what you did. They will grow to thank you for that decision that you took on their behalf. When I was applying for my visa from Ghana to come to the UK, I met a lady who has stayed in Ghana for 6 years without a husband. The husband was just visiting. The husband had his indefinite leave to remain. And after he had the indefinite leave to remain, he used that to apply for the wife and the 2 children. And they were granted their settlement immediately from Ghana. They had their settlement. They didn't have to come to the UK to go through visa changing every microsecond. Today, you see me, I have just come to update my visa. I have just come to change and renew my visa. I am still at the UKVI office. I just finished doing my biometrics. You will keep changing visa, and they are not cheap. It all comes with a cost. ILR is expensive. So some people have decided nothing you say to them will change their mind. They will rather leave their families back home and come and do the needful, get their settlement and bring their families. If you are this kind of person that does not mind leaving your family, it's just that you have to make regular visits, keep in touch with your family, then this news cannot really bother you. But if you know you cannot live apart with your family, then you would better have to look for an alternative route. It's just an unfortunate news. However, it has happened, And one thing about the UK is that the rules change. We don't know what the next rule is going to be. Even for our skilled workers, we don't know our next fate, because how visas were at first, how it was easy to get like visas, now it's not as easy. If you are from overseas, it's not as easy for you to get a job from overseas into the UK. So rules changes, fingers crossed. We are praying for the best. We are praying that things will become better and not become worse, especially for immigrants. And also, if you are an immigrant already in the UK, be a person of good character and good behavior, because I realize that whatever we do here affects some of these decisions. Imagine somebody coming on a student visa with 5 kids or 6 kids. They lodge in a hotel. The lady is pregnant, and then she goes to give birth. After giving birth, they ask there, how are you going to, we need an address to register the child in the red book, and she doesn't have an address. She doesn't have a place to live. And once they begin to dig into some of these things, they go to take, there was a day that even Home Office went to some of the universities to take register, to count the number of students. Before the Home Office would do certain things, it means they've had a hint, they've had an information of what is going on. People come with student visa and they do a lot of things. Some come, they don't even do the study at all. They just come and get somebody else's visa and work under that visa, and they don't go to school at all. Like, it's a lot. And the Home Office, they hear a lot. They do their investigation, they do their background check, and they communicate all these things to the decision-making bodies and to the stakeholders, and these things affect their decisions. So if you're already here, be a person of good character, be a person of good behavior. The purpose and the reason why you came here, let that be your paramount focus. Focus on that, and let's make things better for those that want to come after us, and not rather make it worse. Unfortunately, this is the news that we have heard today. But regardless, I wish you all the very best whilst you search for alternative routes to come into the UK, or whilst you decide what to do to make your immigration dream come true. Likewise, you can also look into other countries like Canada, Australia, New Zealand, United States of America. They are also very good first class countries, and yes, you can give them a try to see how things go. Pray about it. I wish you all the very best in your decisions that you want to make for your future. And until we meet again in my next video, guys, is bye bye.